This is The Space Shot, episode 36 for June 19th, 2017. The Cosmosphere. Hey everyone, welcome to The Space Shot, your daily space history, pop culture, and news fix. I'm John Molnix. I'm still on the road today, so I apologize for the wind noise. I'm recording on the road. Today I just want to talk about my experience yesterday at the Kansas Cosmosphere. It's one of my favorite places to go ever since I was a kid. I've enjoyed being able to go see the exhibits that they have there. I've been visiting the Cosmosphere since I was a little kid. The Cosmosphere has incredibly unique space artifacts. My favorite out of all of the exhibits, the Apollo 13 command module. When Jeff Bezos decided that he was going to raise some of the Saturn V engines from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, he partnered with the Cosmosphere so they could do the restoration work on those engines. The last time I was at the Cosmosphere, there was none of the engines on display, so yesterday was the first time that I was able to see parts of the Saturn V engines. I'm really looking forward to being able to go to Seattle to see the full engines, just being able to see parts of the inner workings, even after it had been sitting at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean for basically a half century. They were remarkably well preserved. The Cosmosphere has something for everyone, from the flight-ready backup of the Sputnik satellite to the Apollo 13 command module. Whether you're interested in American space history or Soviet space history, there are artifacts from the entire history of human spaceflight. If you've ever driven through Kansas or plan on going through Kansas, including the Cosmosphere in your itinerary is something that you should not pass up. When you enter the Cosmosphere, you're greeted by an SR-71 Blackbird, which they actually had to build the building around in order to fit inside. From there, you walk through their Hall of Space, starting with the early V2 and V1 German weapons that were used against the Allies during World War II, through exhibits on the Cold War technology, up through the Apollo-Soyuz, and later shuttle missions. The museum is thoughtfully laid out, and even though I've been there dozens of times over the past 25 plus years, it's something that I will still include in my trip almost every time I go out to Kansas. I didn't have time to do it this trip, but the Cary Digital IMAX Dome Theater that is at the Cosmosphere is also really fun to see, especially if the movie is related to flight in any way. The curved screen really puts you at the center of the action, although it does make some of my family members a little bit sick, so if you are sensitive to motion sickness, you might want to just make sure you're doing that before you have lunch. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about doing a full episode on Sally Ride and Valentina Tereshkova. That will be coming later this week once I am back at home and am able to have all of my setup in front of me. Tomorrow we're going back to the normal recording schedule, and we'll be crossing into space for the first time with the first V2 rocket launch to cross into space. If you like listening to the show, definitely leave a review on iTunes and share the podcast with your friends and family. Also drop me a line, let me know what you guys think. In the coming weeks, I'm going to have a very exciting giveaway, so make sure you're checking out the Facebook page for The Space Shot. I'll have details on that giveaway here shortly. I will give everyone a hint that it involves 1969 and a certain brick company. Thank you all again for listening. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.